Imagine you're standing in the middle of a crowded city, cars honking, people rushing, screens flashing. Everywhere you turn, something demands your attention. This is the world we live in: constant noise, endless notifications, and a pressure to keep up. But what if I told you that the most powerful thing you could do in 2025 isn't to keep up, but to focus inward? We are conditioned to believe that success comes from chasing more goals, more achievements, more recognition. But clarity doesn't come from chasing. It comes from pausing, reflecting, and focusing on what truly matters. The most successful people aren't the ones doing everything. They are the ones doing the right things. We often measure ourselves against others. We scroll through social media, seeing curated highlights of someone else's life, and suddenly our own journey feels inadequate. But self-focus shifts the game. Instead of competing with others, we compete with who we were yesterday. Growth is an infinite game. There's no finish line, just progress. Every time you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. Most people struggle with self-focus because they are afraid to say no. But the truth is, the most successful individuals protect their time, energy, and attention. They understand that every yes must be earned. We live in an era of instant gratification. If something doesn't work immediately, we abandon it. But real success isn't built overnight, it's built over time. Self-focus means trusting that every small action, every disciplined choice, every moment of effort adds up. The results may not be immediate, but they are inevitable. We often think about how we can change the world, help others, or make an impact. But you cannot pour from an empty cup. When you focus on yourself, your mindset, your habits, your well-being, you become the kind of person who naturally inspires and uplifts those around you. The best way to serve others is by becoming the best version of yourself. Imagine standing in a crowded city surrounded by flashing billboards, honking cars, and a sea of people moving in every direction. Your phone vibrates in your pocket, another notification. Your to-do list sits unfinished, your inbox is overflowing, and your mind races with the endless responsibilities pulling you in different directions. This is modern life. A constant barrage of noise, a relentless demand for attention, and overwhelming pressure to keep up. But in the middle of this chaos, there is an alternative. What if, instead of trying to keep up with everything, you chose to focus on what truly matters? What if, instead of being distracted by the urgency of the world, you turned inward and concentrated on your own growth, purpose, and clarity? This is the power of self-focus. In 2025, when distractions are at an all-time high, those who learn to master their attention, energy, and priorities will be the ones who create real impact. We have been conditioned to believe that success is about doing more tasks, more projects, more connections, more achievements. But if you observe the people who have truly mastered their craft, whether in business, art, sports, or leadership, you'll notice a pattern. They are not doing everything. They are doing the right things. They have clarity. They have discipline. And above all, they have focus. The challenge, however, is that the world is designed to pull you away from that focus. Social media feeds are engineered to keep you scrolling. Emails demand immediate responses. Society glorifies busyness as if being overwhelmed is a badge of honor. But being busy is not the same as being productive. And being productive is not the same as being fulfilled. Self-focus begins with clarity. It requires asking yourself the difficult but necessary questions. What am I really working toward? What actually matters to me? What are my priorities, not the ones wanted on me by society, but the ones that genuinely align with my values and purpose? These questions are uncomfortable because they force us to confront the truth. Many of us spend our days working on things that don't bring us closer to what we truly want. We react to life instead of intentionally designing it. Think about the most successful people in history: scientists, artists, entrepreneurs, leaders. Their breakthroughs didn't come from multitasking or constantly chasing the next big thing. They came from deep, uninterrupted focus on a vision. Thomas Edison didn't invent the light bulb because he was checking his messages every 5 minutes. Steve Jobs didn't revolutionize technology by trying to do 100 things at once. They focused. They eliminated distractions. They understood that clarity and success go hand in hand. But let's bring this closer to home. Look at your own life. How often do you start your day with a clear intention? How often do you sit down free from distractions and engage in deep, meaningful work? How much of your time is spent reacting rather than creating? These are not easy questions, but they are necessary ones. The reality is that the world will never stop demanding your attention. There will always be another email, another trend to follow, another distraction. If you do not take control of your focus, the world will do it for you. And the cost of that. A life spent chasing rather than building. The good news is that self-focus is a skill. It is something you can cultivate, refine, and strengthen over time. It starts with small decisions, choosing to turn off notifications when you work, setting boundaries with your time, learning to say no to distractions that don't align with your priorities. It means creating habits that support your goals rather than sabotage them. It means being intentional about where you place your energy. One of the most powerful ways to cultivate self-focus is by designing your environment for success. If your phone is the first thing you see when you wake up, it will dictate the start of your day. If your workspace is cluttered with distractions, your mind will be too. If your schedule is filled with obligations that don't serve you, your progress will be slow. The world around you is shaping your ability to focus, whether you realize it or not. The question is, are you shaping it in your favor? There is also an internal element to self-focus that cannot be ignored. It requires not just managing external distractions, but also learning to quiet the noise within. Our own minds can be the greatest source of distraction, self-doubt, fear, comparison, and impatience. The thoughts that tell us we're not good enough, that we're falling behind, that we should be doing something else. These are just as powerful as any notification on your phone. And just like external distractions, they need to be managed. This is where self-discipline comes in. Self-focus is not about waiting for motivation to strike. It is about committing to the process, even on the days when it feels hard. It is about understanding that progress isn't always visible immediately. But that doesn't mean it isn't happening. Every moment of focused effort compounds over time. Every time you resist the urge to get distracted and instead stay present in your work, you strengthen your ability to focus. Every time you choose depth over distraction, you are building a future of clarity and fulfillment. Now, let's talk about what happens when you master self-focus. The moment you begin to take control of your attention and energy, everything changes. Your work becomes more meaningful because you are fully engaged in it. Your relationships improve because you are present rather than constantly distracted. Your confidence grows because you are no longer measuring your progress against external noise, but against your own personal growth. And most importantly, you begin to experience true fulfillment. Not the kind that comes from temporary achievements or external validation, but the kind that comes from knowing you are living with purpose, that you are building something meaningful, that you are in control of your own path. So, as we move through 2025, ask yourself, where is my focus? Am I allowing the world to dictate my attention, or am I taking control of it? Because the truth is, the ability to focus, truly focus, is becoming one of the most valuable skills in the modern world. Those who master it will lead. Those who ignore it will struggle to keep up. The world will always be loud. It will always demand more of you. But you don't have to answer every call, respond to every distraction, or chase every opportunity. You just have to focus on the right ones. Because in the end, success doesn't come from doing everything. It comes from doing what matters. And what matters most is entirely up to you. The world has never been louder. Every day we are bombarded with information, opinions, and distractions. Notifications demand our attention. Social media pulls us into endless scrolling. The expectations of society, family, and work stretch us in every direction. We live in an era where being busy is mistaken for being productive, and where saying yes to everything is seen as ambition. But in this constant rush to keep up, we rarely stop to ask ourselves one fundamental question: is this what I really want? Self-focus is not about isolation or selfishness. It is about clarity. It is about understanding what truly matters to you and having the discipline to pursue it without being pulled off course. Most people drift through life reacting to what happens to them instead of intentionally designing their path. They allow external forces, social trends, peer pressure, fear of missing out to dictate their decisions. But those who achieve true success, true fulfillment, do something different. They master the ability to focus inward. They define their own metrics for success rather than letting the world define them. The challenge is that self-focus requires saying no, and saying no is uncomfortable. It means disappointing others. It means turning down opportunities that don't align with your vision. It means setting boundaries that protect your time and energy. But every no you say to something unimportant is a yes to something that truly matters. The people who accomplish the most in life are not the ones who do the most. They are the ones who do the right things consistently without distraction. The problem is that we live in a culture that rewards immediate results. We want success, but we want it now. We want growth, but we don't want the discomfort that comes with it. We want focus, but we don't want to sacrifice the distractions that entertain us. But real, meaningful progress is never instant. It happens in the quiet, in the discipline of showing up every day, even when no one is watching. It happens when we commit to long-term goals, even when there are no immediate rewards. The people who succeed in any field, business, sports, art, leadership, are not the most talented. They are the ones who have mastered the ability to focus on their craft day after day for years. They do not allow distractions to dictate their progress. They are not constantly switching goals or chasing shortcuts. They understand that real mastery requires deep, sustained focus. They do not fear boredom, repetition, or delayed gratification. They embrace it because they know that is where real transformation happens. But self-focus is not just about what you do, it is also about what you consume. Your mind is shaped by the information you take in, the people you surround yourself with, and the habits you reinforce. If you are constantly absorbing negativity, comparison, and mindless entertainment, your ability to focus will weaken. If you are always seeking validation from others, your sense of purpose will be fragile. Self-focus requires being intentional about what you allow into your mental space. Just as an athlete fuels their body with the right nutrition, you must fuel your mind with the right thoughts, ideas, and influences. There is another powerful element of self-focus that often goes overlooked: the ability to sit with discomfort. Most people avoid silence. They avoid being alone with their thoughts because it forces them to confront truths they would rather ignore. But true self-awareness, true growth, comes from being willing to sit in that discomfort. It comes from asking yourself the hard questions. Am I truly happy with the direction of my life? Am I chasing what I actually want or what I think I should want? Am I spending my time in alignment with my values? These questions are not easy, but they are necessary. The reality is that the world will always try to distract you. There will always be another trending topic, another urgent task, another voice telling you what you should be doing. But if you do not take control of your focus, the world will control it for you. And the cost of that is a life spent reacting rather than creating. One of the most valuable skills you can develop in 2020 is the ability to eliminate distractions. Not just external distractions, social media, emails, unnecessary commitments, but also internal distractions. Self-doubt, fear of judgment, the constant need for approval. When you learn to silence these distractions, you gain an incredible power, the ability to move forward with confidence without waiting for permission or reassurance from the outside world. Self-focus is not about ignoring others. It is about strengthening yourself so that you can show up fully in everything you do. It is about recognizing that the more you invest in your own growth, the more you have to offer to the people around you. When you are clear on your purpose, your energy becomes more intentional. Your work becomes more meaningful. Your relationships become more authentic. But none of this happens by accident. It happens by design. It happens when you decide that your time and attention are valuable and that you will no longer waste them on things that do not serve your long-term vision. It happens when you stop chasing every opportunity and instead commit fully to the few that truly matter. At the end of the day, the people who make the biggest impact are not the ones who try to do everything. They are the ones who focus on something meaningful and pursue it with everything they have. They do not allow distractions to dictate their direction. They do not seek validation before taking action. They do not wait for the perfect moment to start. They simply begin, they stay focused, and they keep going. As you move through this year, ask yourself, what am I focusing on? Is your energy scattered or is it directed? Are you making progress or just staying busy? Are you living with intention or are you letting the world pull you in 1,000 directions? The truth is, you will never find clarity by looking outward. You will never achieve success by constantly reacting to the demands of others. You will never build something meaningful if your attention is always divided. The most important work you will ever do begins with focus, with eliminating the noise, with turning inward, because in the end, success is not about doing more. It is about doing what matters. And what matters most is entirely up to you. Every day we are faced with choices where to place our attention, what to prioritize, what to say yes to, and what to walk away from. Most people don't make these choices consciously. They go through their days reacting to whatever demands their attention, pulled in 100 different directions. Their time is dictated by emails, notifications, meetings, and social pressures. They move from task to task, conversation to conversation, with little time left for what truly matters. But there is another way, a better way, a way that separates those who create meaningful impact from those who simply stay busy. Self-focus is the ability to take control of your time, your energy, and your priorities. It is the discipline to eliminate distractions, to block out the noise, and to commit to what is truly important. It is not selfish, it is essential. Because without self-focus, your life is dictated by external forces rather than internal purpose. Without self-focus, you are not in control, the world is. The problem is that focus is harder to maintain than ever before. We live in a world designed for distraction. Entire industries exist to steal your attention. Social media platforms are engineered to keep you scrolling. News outlets thrive on urgency and fear. Marketers spend billions ensuring that their products and messages occupy space. The reality is that if you do not take control of your focus, someone else will. This is why self-focus is not just a skill, it is a necessity. It is the ability to resist the pull of distraction and direct your attention toward what actually moves you forward. It is the discipline to say no to the things that do not serve your long-term goals, even when they seem urgent in the moment. It is the courage to step away from what is popular and pursue what is meaningful. One of the biggest obstacles to self-focus is the need for external validation. Too many people make decisions based on what others expect of them. They chase goals that do not align with their true desires. They say yes to opportunities not because they truly want them, but because they fear missing out. They spend time doing what looks impressive rather than what is truly impactful. But self-focus means freeing yourself from that mindset. It means deciding that your worth is not determined by how others perceive you, but by the value you create for yourself and the people who matter to you. There is also an emotional side to self-focus that is often overlooked. We are not just distracted by external factors, we are distracted by our own doubts, fears, and insecurities. The fear of failure, the fear of judgment, the fear of making the wrong decision, these internal distractions are just as powerful as any notification on your phone. They pull you away from meaningful work. They keep you second-guessing yourself instead of moving forward with confidence. This is why self-focus is also about mindset. It is about training yourself to ignore the fears and distractions that do not serve you. It is about trusting your ability to figure things out. It is about understanding that failure is not the enemy indecision is. Because every time you hesitate, every time you allow doubt to control your choices, you lose momentum. And success is built on momentum. But focus is not just about eliminating distractions, it is also about creating the right conditions for deep work. It is about designing your environment in a way that supports your goals. If your phone is always within reach, you will check it. If your schedule is packed with obligations, you will have no time for what truly matters. If you surround yourself with people who lack focus, their habits will influence yours. The people who succeed at the highest levels are not just disciplined with their time, they are strategic with their environment. They build systems that make focus easier, not harder. Another critical element of self-focus is patience. In today's world, patience is rare. We expect immediate results, instant feedback, overnight success. But the truth is, nothing great is built quickly. Real success takes time. Mastery takes time. The most accomplished people in any field are not the ones who expect quick wins, but the ones who commit to long-term growth. They stay focused even when progress is slow. They trust the process even when results are not immediate. They do not get distracted by what is urgent. They stay committed to what is important. Self-focus also requires resilience. Because when you decide to focus on what truly matters, you will face resistance. People will not always understand your choices. Some will criticize you. Some will try to pull you back into distraction. Some will make you question whether you are on the right path. But self-focus means staying true to your vision, even when it is difficult. It means having the strength to stand alone if necessary. It means remembering that the greatest achievements come from those who are willing to do what others are not. The benefits of self-focus go beyond just productivity. It affects every area of your life. When you are focused, your work improves because you are fully present. Your relationships improve because you are engaged, not distracted. Your confidence grows because you are making real progress instead of simply staying busy. You begin to feel a sense of control over your life rather than being at the mercy of whatever demands your attention. And so the question is, where is your focus going? Are you spending your time on things that truly matter? Or are you constantly pulled in different directions? Are you making decisions based on what is meaningful or based on what is expected? Are you working toward a clear vision? or simply reacting to whatever comes your way. The difference between those who achieve extraordinary things and those who remain stuck is not talent. It is not luck. It is focus. The ability to direct their energy toward meaningful goals every single day without distraction. The ability to trust themselves instead of seeking constant approval. The ability to stay patient and committed even when success feels far away. In 2025, the most valuable skill you can develop is not speed. It is not multitasking. It is not keeping up with every trend. It is the ability to focus, to eliminate the noise, to direct your attention toward what truly moves you forward, to choose depth over distraction. Because in the end, the people who make the greatest impact are not the ones who try to do everything. They are the ones who choose to do the right things with absolute focus every single day. Your attention is your most valuable resource. Where you direct it will determine your future. So, what will you focus on? Everywhere we look, the world is competing for our attention. The moment we wake up, our phones are buzzing, our inboxes are full, and the world is waiting for us to engage. We live in an era where distractions are not just occasional, they are constant. They are built into the very fabric of our daily lives. It has never been easier to be busy, yet feel unfulfilled. It has never been easier to be connected, yet feel lost. And in the midst of all this noise, there is one thing that separates those who create meaningful success from those who simply keep up: self-focus. Self-focus is not selfish. It is not about ignoring others or shutting the world out. It is about having clarity. It is about understanding what truly matters and having the discipline to pursue it without distraction. Too many people live their lives on autopilot, reacting to emails, responding to notifications, following trends, and chasing opportunities that do not align with their deeper purpose. But those who achieve the greatest success, the ones who create impact, build legacies, and change industries, are not the ones who do everything. They are the ones who focus on what matters most. The challenge is that self-focus requires sacrifice. It means stepping away from distractions, even when they are tempting. It means being intentional about your time and energy, even when others demand more from you. It means understanding that success is not about doing more, it is about doing the right things consistently over time. And yet this is easier said than done, because distraction is addictive. Busyness feels productive. And in a world that moves fast, the pressure to keep up is overwhelming. But here is the truth: the people who create extraordinary success do not try to keep up. They set their own pace. They are not constantly checking what others are doing. They are not chasing every new trend. They are not measuring their progress by external standards. They are deeply committed to their own vision, and they have the discipline to protect it. This is why self-focus is a superpower. Because when you learn to master it, everything changes. Your work becomes more meaningful because you are not just doing things, you are doing the right things. Your relationships become richer because you are fully present rather than constantly distracted. Your confidence grows because you are making real progress, not just staying busy. You stop chasing what does not matter and start building what does. One of the greatest obstacles to self-focus is the fear of missing out. The fear that if you do not say yes to every opportunity, you might miss something important. The fear that if you do not keep up with every trend, you will fall behind. The fear that if you take your time to focus deeply, others will move ahead. But the truth is, saying yes to everything is the fastest way to achieve nothing meaningful. The most successful people are not those who take on the most, they are those who eliminate the unnecessary. They understand that every yes to a distraction is a no to their real goals. Self-focus is also about mastering your environment. If you are surrounded by distractions, it is impossible to stay focused. If your phone is always within reach, you will check it. If your schedule is filled with unnecessary obligations, you will have no time for deep work. If you are constantly engaged in meaningless conversations, your mind will be cluttered with noise. The best way to protect your focus is to design an environment that supports it. Create space for deep work. Set boundaries with your time. Surround yourself with people who value focus and discipline, because the world around you is shaping your ability to focus, whether you realize it or not. Another powerful aspect of self-focus is learning to sit with discomfort. Focus requires patience, and patience is uncomfortable. It requires trusting the process, even when progress is slow. It requires resisting the urge for quick wins and instead committing to long-term growth. The reason most people fail to stay focused is not that they lack discipline, it is that they are not comfortable with the discomfort of slow progress. But mastery is built in the small, unseen moments, the hours of deep work that no one claps for, the consistent effort that does not yield immediate rewards, the ability to show up every day, even when no one is watching. Most people abandon their goals not because they are too difficult, but because they lose focus. They get distracted by something new, something easier, something that promises faster results. But the people who truly succeed are not the ones who chase every new opportunity. They are the ones who commit. They are the ones who stay the course even when it is difficult. They are the ones who understand that real progress is built through consistent, focused effort over time. Another challenge of self-focus is dealing with external expectations. The world will always have an opinion about what you should be doing. Friends, family, colleagues, they will all have their own ideas about what success looks like. And if you are not careful, you will spend your life chasing their version of success rather than defining your own. Self-focus means having the courage to trust yourself. It means being clear about what you want and having the discipline to pursue it, even when others do not understand. It means recognizing that your life is yours to create, and that true success is not about meeting external expectations, but about living in alignment with your values. The most powerful thing you can do in 2025 is to take control of your focus, because focus is what determines your future. Where you place your attention, how you spend your time, the choices you make every day, these are the things that will shape your success. Not luck, not talent, not shortcuts, but focus, the ability to eliminate distractions, the discipline to stay committed to what matters, the courage to define success on your own terms. So ask yourself, where is your focus right now? Are you spending your time on things that truly matter, or are you constantly reacting to the world around you? Are you making real progress, or are you staying busy? Are you in control of your attention, or is the world controlling it for you? Because in the end, success is not about doing more. It is about doing what matters most. And that choice where you place your focus, how you direct your energy, what you say yes to, and what you walk away from, that choice is entirely up to you. The world we live in today is designed for distraction. Everywhere we turn, something is pulling at our attention: notifications, social media, endless content, and the expectations of others. We are surrounded by noise, constantly being told what we should do, what we should care about, and what success should look like. It is easy to spend years chasing goals that were never truly ours, saying yes to things that do not serve us, and living reactively instead of intentionally. But the most successful and fulfilled people in the world have something in common. They understand the power of self-focus. Self-focus is not about shutting people out or ignoring the world. It is about clarity. It is about understanding what matters most and directing your energy toward it without distraction. Most people do not lack ambition, they lack focus. They have big dreams, but they are pulled in too many directions. They start things but struggle to finish them. They work hard but never feel like they are making real progress. The reason is simple: they are trying to do everything instead of focusing on what truly moves them forward. The greatest challenge of self-focus is learning to say no. The world will always demand more from you. There will always be another opportunity, another request, another distraction disguised as something urgent. Most people struggle with this because they do not want to disappoint others. They do not want to miss out. They do not want to walk away from something that seems like a good idea. But every time you say yes to something unimportant, you are saying no to something that truly matters. And the people who achieve the most in life are not the ones who take on everything. They are the ones who are disciplined enough to say no to anything that does not align with their long-term vision. Self-focus requires discipline, but it also requires courage. It means stepping away from distractions, even when they are entertaining. It means resisting the need for external validation. It means trusting yourself enough to follow your own path, even when it does not match what others expect of you. Too many people make decisions based on what looks impressive rather than what is truly impactful. They chase recognition instead of meaning. But true success is not about how things appear, it is about what is real. It is about doing work that matters, creating something of value, and staying true to your purpose even when no one is watching. One of the biggest reasons people struggle to stay focused is that they are addicted to short-term rewards. We live in a culture that celebrates instant gratification. We want results now. We want feedback immediately. We want success without struggle. But the truth is, nothing meaningful happens overnight. The most successful people in any field, business, sports, art, leadership, are not the ones who expect quick wins. They are the ones who are willing to commit to long-term growth. They understand that mastery is built through years of focused effort. They do not allow temporary distractions to pull them away from long-term success. Focus is not just about what you do, it is also about what you allow into your mind. Your thoughts, your habits, and the people you surround yourself with all influence your ability to stay focused. If you are constantly absorbing negativity, comparison, and unnecessary information, your mind will be cluttered. If you spend time with people who lack discipline, their mindset will rub off on you. Self-focus means being intentional about what you consume. It means guarding your mental space as carefully as you guard your time. Just as an athlete fuels their body with the right nutrition, you must fuel your mind with the right influences. Another crucial aspect of self-focus is learning to embrace discomfort. Most people avoid it. They avoid silence because it forces them to confront their own thoughts. They avoid hard work because it does not provide immediate results. They avoid commitment because it means saying no to other possibilities. But discomfort is where growth happens. The most successful people are not the ones who have the easiest path. They are the ones who have learned to sit with discomfort and push through it. They understand that challenges are not obstacles, they are opportunities for growth. Self-focus also requires resilience. When you decide to focus on what truly matters, you will face resistance. People will question your choices. Some will criticize you. Some will try to distract you. Some will make you feel like you are missing out. But the most successful people do not let external noise dictate their direction. They do not seek constant approval before making decisions. They do not need reassurance to stay committed to their goals. They trust themselves and they keep going even when others do not understand their path. The reality is that in today's world, the ability to focus is a rare and valuable skill. Most people are constantly distracted, constantly reacting, constantly chasing the next thing without ever truly mastering anything. The ones who stand out are the ones who can eliminate the noise and commit fully to their purpose. They are the ones who create deep, meaningful work instead of constantly shifting their attention. They are the ones who do not let the fear of missing out control them. They are the ones who understand that true success is not about doing more, it is about doing what matters most. So the question is, what are you focusing on? Are you spending your time on things that truly matter? Or are you allowing distractions to control your life? Are you making progress, or are you just staying busy? Are you living with intention, or are you constantly reacting to whatever demands your attention? Because in the end, success is not about how much you do. It is about what you do with absolute focus and commitment. The people who create the greatest impact are not the ones who try to do everything. They are the ones who choose what matters and they pursue it with everything they have. Your focus is your greatest asset. Where you direct it will determine your future. So choose wisely.